Hey guys, here with another episode of Trainer Confidential. We got a weird story, kind of a exciting story today. It still has to do with fitness, not bodybuilding shows this time. It has to do with gyms, and it has to do with Planet Fitness. The boycott that they have going on right now, and well, just what Planet Fitness has been doing as a business. So I want to dive into that. How you doing tonight, Donnie?
I'm doing all right, man.
So yeah, let's just jump right in, and I'm gonna start sharing screen. So basically, this is where I'm going to start here. So this woman here, this is in Alaska. She goes to Planet Fitness. She's a member there, and she is in the women's locker room. And there was a guy in the locker room shaving. Uh, she didn't really like that. She asked him, why are you here? You can't be in here. It's for women. And he said he was trans. Okay, that's fine. But the thing is, the guy, he was a guy. He was blatantly a guy. Meanwhile, there was a little girl in the corner of the locker room, bundled up in a towel, scared. So she took a picture of the guy in the locker room. And I know nowadays taking pictures of the locker room is a big no-no because people are doing that, and all gyms are pretty much saying no to that more
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah.
But that being said, she was going up there to say, hey, this guy was in here. He shouldn't be in here. Planet Fitness, instead of doing something about it, terminated her membership. And not only that, uh, but this guy now is, I don't know why it's not showing that. What is this? So this guy now, anyway, is being escorted by staffers to the women's locker room, which is this page that I can't get up. And they were told women that have a problem with it, if you don't like it, don't go in the locker room. So now I want to show what the guy looks like. Well, first we can watch this first.
Monday, man in the women's locker room, shaving. A little girl sitting in the corner. She could have been 12 years old. I don't know how old she was. In a towel, kind of freaked out that there's a man shaving in her locker room. Well, I was offended. I took a picture of him and I asked him, why are you there? You're a man with a penis. Why are you in the women's locker room? And he justified by saying, I'm queer LGB. And I said, you shouldn't be in the women's locker room. Well, I left. And as I said this morning, I got canceled. Planet Fitness is defending the man in the women's locker room, the man with a penis, rather than the child sitting in the corner with a towel wrapped around him. So, people, I just want you to know this is weird. It's not good. It's rather disturbing. So, I would like for you women to stand up and have a voice and stop these shenanigans. You have authority. Use your authority. I took that picture because I felt like I felt like I was in an unsafe space. And so I'm probably going to go report this to the police today, but I just want to tell Samantha and Joe that work there and own it, thank you so much for canceling my membership. You saved me the trip. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
So now, on a side note, it is very, very difficult to cancel your membership at a Planet Fitness. Allegedly, because a lot of people get it because they can go to any Planet Fitness. You have to send it in by writing in order to cancel your membership. So you can't really just go in there or call them on the phone and cancel your membership. So it's very difficult, but you can do it. You can go through avenues. Now, because of this video, they've been boycotting Planet Fitness. So a lot of people are losing their memberships to this. At the point of this video, they lost $400 million in stocks over that. That's how many people left Planet Fitness. It's probably more now. So that's not the only incident. So there's the guy right there.
Uncomfortable and wanted to document it because she said that many young girls go in and out of that facility to use the bathroom and even shower. And after trying to tell an employee, the employee responded saying, if you feel uncomfortable, you can go in the stall. And according to their policy, it said that members and guests may use the gym facilities that best align with their sincere self-reported gender identity. So according to them, self-reports as a man or a woman can
You know something?
Yeah.
Looking at that photo, he does not strike me as being trans.
No, that's the whole issue here. And I got another video because I have a trans person that actually is going to talk about this too later that we're gonna see. And here's the whole dilemma in my mind. If you know, I don't mind a trans person being in a women's restroom at all. They're a woman. They identify as a woman. That's fine. But they're also not flaunting. It's not a sexual thing for them. But to be a full-blown guy and be in a woman's restroom,
And that's what we got here. That's what we got here.
That's what we got.
You
And
have-
there's more. This ain't the only one. So I'm gonna go to the next one here.
Here, that is her father. We thank you both for coming on. So we've done a story very similar to this one, in theory, almost identical to this one here. This is coming out of a Planet Fitness in Alaska. Here we are in Pennsylvania. Mary, we can only imagine what that was like walking in to the locker room, to the women's locker room, seeing what appeared to be a man there. Can you explain to the viewers?
See that guy?
The photos.
Blatantly a guy.
Not for the day, or were you just getting started and then this happened?
Yes, sir. So I had just finished a workout, and just to clarify, I'm actually not a Planet Fitness member. I was going as a guest with a friend who is a member. So yes, I had just finished a workout. I was heading into the locker room, and as many locker rooms are, the bathroom is connected to the locker room. And as I was getting my things out of my locker, this, what appears to be a man, though I'm not certain, came out of the women's bathroom into the women's locker room, as you can see in my photos. And I was just in shock because this is the stuff that I see on the news. I see these other stories, but then it was right there in front of my face. And from what it looks like, it did fully look like a man to me. And at first I was fully convinced it was a man, although now, again, I'm not sure.
And Mary, well, in that moment, again, the initial assumption that you had was this person who's dressed in traditionally male clothing and has facial hair. How did you feel thinking, at least, that a man was in a woman's locker room?
I felt extremely uncomfortable. There should be no instance where a person who is a man or displays himself as a man should be in a women's only space. And just to clarify, this is the women's locker room. So this person, whatever they truly are, should not have been in there.
Let me bring in Dad. Mr. Edwards, I'm sure this was not happy news to hear what your daughter encountered when she's going again to work out, to enter a safe area for women. Can you walk us through what it's like to be a parent hearing this story?
I'll tell you, as a guy that grew up like in the late 70s and through the 80s, I constantly heard that women needed their own spaces, and I agree with that 1,000%. What we're doing now just doesn't make any sense to me, because I don't know where a young girl can go and feel safe, if not in a locker room at a gym, and not be exposed to what appears to be a man. I just don't know how we even got to this point. It makes me angry. It actually did. I don't know how to explain that part of it. It makes me angry, but it also makes me sad that she would even have to deal with that. That's something that she would even have to question. Or that, let alone the staff, couldn't have a better answer than, we don't know. It doesn't matter.
So I'm gonna play a couple more videos and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Let me try to start this one over. Well, maybe I can't.
It is so embarrassing to be a trans woman in 2024. And y'all are probably gonna come in the comments and hit me like a Blair Way when I'm not right. If anything, I consider myself more of an independent because I can see points on both sides. The neutral, because guess what? Nothing in life is 100% right, and nothing in life is 100% left. When you're actually in the middle and you can see points from both sides, it's kind of normal. But we have gotten so far left with trans activism that I think that you guys just want trans women to look like a fucking joke and want our whole community to look like a joke, because I don't stand with this. This doesn't resonate with me. I feel so sorry for this poor woman who went into Planet Fitness, had a literal man undressed in front of her, and is now banned from Planet Fitness when they should be banning this creep. You want to know how many times I've had a problem in the bathroom or the locker room? None. Because I actually transitioned. I actually put in the work. Trans people who actually are trans, who actually have gender dysphoria, want to blend into society.
Mm-hmm.
They want to blend into society. They want to be perceived as a female. They don't want to go to Amazon and order a wig for $10.99 and then throw it on and thinking that somehow they can go into women's spaces. Do you know who does do that? Creeps and predators who are men. Because if you're actually on estrogen, you're not doing shit like this. This is disgusting. I just don't even know what has happened. Because this is what happens when there is no rules, when you just literally are 1,000% left and just welcome everything. Being a woman is not putting on an Amazon wig. This is just a man in what? A bra and a tank top? Do you guys actually think that a man just puts on a bra and a tank top and then they're a woman and they can be women's spaces? That makes them safe around women? I just don't understand. Do you want to know what happened to me? When I was early in my transition, I didn't put myself in any women's spaces because no one validates my woman besides me. I would let people call me whatever they wanted. When I was early in my transition, I looked kind of crazy. We all have that phase. People called me sir, ma'am. They called me he, she. And I just let them because I'm like, whatever you want to call me. And guess what? I put in the work. I took my hormones for years, going on 7 years now. Which suppresses all of your testosterone. Will actually make your body change to female if you're on them. And you want to know when I decided that I was going to go in the women's locker room and the women's bathrooms? When I went everywhere, Target, Walmart, McDonald's, and people said she, then I knew that I was assimilated in society as a woman. I didn't just be a whole man and go and order an Amazon wig for $2.99, and this person isn't even wearing a wig, they're just a man. That's a man. And go into women's spaces. This is what's wrong. You guys just want to allow everything and just someone says that they're trans than they are, and there's no rules and there's no guidelines to follow. As a trans woman, I'm disgusted. How can you even expect anyone in America to take it seriously? If anything, people are becoming less accepting because of shit like this. This is embarrassing. As a trans woman who actually put in the work for years and years and years, the time, the money, and the blood, sweat, and tears to maintain my transition, now shit like this is when people think trans, they're gonna see me. So I don't even think I identify with trans anymore. Maybe I'm just a transsexual or I'm gonna say gender dysphoria, whatever, because if this is what being trans is, I wanna be as far away from that as possible. Like, a man putting on lipstick or a wig does not make him a woman. If you're actually trans, the goal is to blend into society and to actually transition. But apparently you don't have to do that anymore. You can just call yourself woman and be welcome in women's spaces. I feel so sorry for these women that have to deal with this. Because it is absolutely disgusting. And shame on Planet Fitness. Shame on Planet Fitness for supporting this. As a trans woman, this is disgusting. And guess what? I go to Planet Fitness. Guess who's going to be canceling their membership and going somewhere else? Maybe LA Fitness or somewhere else. Somewhere that doesn't deal with this. Guess what? When you're actually trans, you transition, you're not just a creep who puts on a wig and wants to go into women's spaces. Or there's a lot of you trans people who aren't actually trans because it's a fetish. And we can see how creepy you are. People who are actually trans is called gender dysphoria. It's a medical, scientific thing that can be proven. They feel, it eats them alive to not be comfortable in their body. They don't go into a woman's locker room exposing their junk. That'd be the last thing they would want to do. They tuck it and make sure it's hidden, and they don't want nobody want anyone to ever see it. Guess what? I've never had any problems in the locker room or bathroom because I blend in. I'm perceived as a woman. I would never go into a locker room looking like this. This person obviously is a narcissist, a predator, and must be blind because they don't know that they literally just look like a man. This is a man in a towel, and this is a man, what, putting on a bra and a tank top? And that means that you can walk into a woman's face? Absolutely not. Because how we got to this point, I don't understand how, you know, you get called Nazi or extremely right wing just for having common sense. I'm not even right wing. If anything, I identify more with the left. A lot of my views about climate change and the environment and all of this stuff, I identify way more with the left. But when things are so far left socially, it's like you guys literally take us back the opposite way. Like, can you even blame these women for being outraged? I would be outraged. I would not feel safe with this person. Like, come on.
So now we got this guy here. Mind you, these are all in this last month. This guy here was an employee. He had hidden cameras in Planet Fitness. He worked for them, and he well, you can read it there. Apparently he did it to a guy too. He had a hidden camera, or he had a camera in the tanning bed for a guy also. And the guy caught him. So this is I think this is in Burleigh County.
Was he a member of the staff?
Yeah, he was actually well, what do you call it? He wasn't just a staff member, he was a oh yeah, can't think of the word. Manager. He was a manager.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Then we go to here. This one also happened. Well, this was last year, I guess, but Georgia man arrested after exposing himself to a 15-year-old girl in Planet Fitness locker room. And this is the guy here. So to sum this up, this guy was going in the women's locker room, exposing himself to little girls. And somebody had called the police. The police came over, and Planet Fitness was defending this guy, saying that he has the right to use the women's restroom. Yes. Right here.
He doesn't have the right to use the women's restroom.
No. Blatantly a dude. Again, he's a dude.
Yeah.
So they were defending him, and the police finally said no, and they ended up arresting him, which is awesome.
They're not even pretending to be trans. They're just
no.
You know?
All three of these guys are that way. They were guys, and that's why I threw the trans lady in there, saying her piece about it, because you know she's a woman. She looks like a woman. She wants to be a woman. You know, she's not like she said, she's not flaunting her junk around.
Right.
You know, to be a guy, a blatantly guy, like you got to try at least something. I mean, that's just weird, and it's uncomfortable, and it's wrong.
You know,
So,
I have a trans daughter,
mm-hmm.
and when she was in culinary school, you know, and what I found is and this is just carpenter what you're talking about, because she looked so much like a woman, they wouldn't let her in the men's bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
because she looked so much like a woman. You know, she sounds like, you know, I'm mistaken her for one of my daughter my daughter-in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But these guys, you know, are clearly they're guys. They're not even attempting to be trans.
So basically, if you're a sex offender, let's say you're a sex offender, because they don't do background checks when you get a gym membership. Okay, so you're a sex offender. You've even went to prison for sex offenses. You can go and you can get yourself a $20, $10-$20 membership to Planet Fitness and go walk right into their women's restroom and be weird like that, and they'll back you up. They're okay with that.
That's the really screwed up part about it is their actions afterwards. I mean, you know, you're in this business and you're dealing with people, and you're going to get all types. You know, we've had our share of folks. You know, but but once that happens, once you have an incident like that, you got to jump on that right away. You got to quell that right in its tracks.
Well,
there's no way you're going to get guys that look like guys and act like guys and dress like guys, you know, go into a women's restroom.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they say it's a judgment-free zone. Mind you, I think it's like every Friday they buy a bunch of pizzas. You can go in there and eat all the pizza you want. They have cheap memberships. But the thing about this place is and I get it, judgment-free, okay, fine. But it's for people that what they don't want in there is people like us. They don't want people building muscle. They don't want people that have muscle, that lift heavy, that do anything like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to this next, the lunk alarm stuff, and just show you how stupid this is. Oh.
Tell me what we did to get the alarm.
What did she do?
I don't know. Made too loud of a noise. This chick here, she just took off her shirt. Oh, well. This chick. So you're not allowed to have to be in tank tops at Planet Fitness. I mean, look, these are all lunk alarm stuff from just people. Some of them are doing it on like this guy. Here you go. Here's one. So basically, if you make any kind of noise whatsoever, you grunt, you throw it. Now, I'm not into people throwing their dumbbells on the ground. That always irritates me.
Yeah.
Or, if you can pick them up, you can put them down lightly on the ground. I'm not into that. But if you do anything like that, you grunt, you do anything, they will have a lunk alarm going and they'll kick you out.
But you can be on the, I know they'll have squat racks, but they have Smith machines.
Yeah.
You can be on the Smith machine, you've been doing squats and you can rip one off, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What happens then?
Or T-bar row, I mean,
what happens then?
I don't know if what happened, you rip one and the lunk alarm goes off. That was an involuntary response there. I mean, goodness gracious, what do you do about that?
Oh, yeah. Well,
goodness
because their theory is they don't have anything over 70-pound dumbbells. They don't have squat racks at all. They don't have any plates. Well, they have plates, but they don't have barbells, stuff like that. You're only allowed 4 plates on the leg press. You can't put any more than that. Now, I don't know if that's 4 on each side or 2 on each side, 4 total. I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably just 4 total. You're not allowed to put anything more. So basically, the only thing you can kind of do there heavy is maxing out a machine or using that Smith machine. But you can only put 5 plates on that Smith machine, if that, and it's it's maxed out.
So you kind of they kind of cap your training potential too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because their theory is not to get you fit. What they want is it's a cheap membership and it's really hard to cancel. So what they want is the New Year's people going, I'm going to lose some weight and go get a gym membership. They go for a month and then they don't go anymore, but they're still paying that bill.
Well, the reason they do that is because when it comes to like the upfront money, when it comes to the upfront money, it's very effective. It's they go through that honeymoon phase and they got all this new equipment and it's all about amenities. It's not so much about service. It's more about amenities, and they get all this service and stuff, and they're getting all this money, this cheap money in and stuff, and then they'll flame out, probably in most of these corporate gyms like this thing, they tend to flame out, but they will make some money,
Yeah.
They are and the reason they do it like this is because it's working, it's making them money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if you notice the quote that I have by my front desk.
Yes, I love that quote.
Any business whose sole purpose is to make money is not a good business. And it's obvious that that's their sole purpose.
Yeah.
Their sole purpose is to make money.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And like I said, they'll do it for a while. It'll be profitable for a while. They've been profitable, but they tend to flame out. I started out in the corporate gym.
Mhm.
You know, I started out in that corporate gym business. I was in that scene, you know, and that's what it was first and foremost,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see Planet Fitness being around much longer with all this stuff they're doing. I mean, it's like the lady said, you know, they're trying they're being a little too woke. And I get that. I get that. You got to appease everybody, but you cannot defend sexual predators.
No,
And they're defending sexual predators.
yeah, I mean, and just because they say they're trans doesn't make it so.
No. I mean, I can say I'm trans. I'm trans. What, you gonna tell me I'm not? Well, I have a beard. How am I trans? That don't matter. I'm trans. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
not
mean,
like that.
yeah. Trans women don't, they go out of their way to not look
Yeah.
like men.
Yes. You wouldn't
They
know.
really go out of their way to do that,
You
you know.
wouldn't know. And it's just like she said, you know, when she was transitioning and maybe she didn't look fully like a woman, she didn't go, she went in the men's restroom, you know, till she
Right.
felt confident because she wants to be a woman. That's what she feels like. That's what she wants to do. And you have this guy in there shaving his face.
You know, no, that wouldn't work at my gym. He'd be gone. He'd be gone.
I
He'd be
like
gone.
that. That's how it should be. That's how it
He would
should be.
definitely be gone.
But
You know?
meanwhile, yeah, I mean, they have a lot of lawsuits on them. I watched one video of a father calling because he heard about one of those incidences, and he was asking about his daughter. Hey, I want to get my daughter a membership down there, and I heard about this. Can you tell me about it? They denied it. They completely denied it. Right on there. So, uh,
It is definitely something that they're bringing upon themselves because, like I said, more than likely, some of these gyms you're talking about, if you got a gym that's got at least 400 or 500 members, you're talking about all types of personalities that are
yeah,
going to be doing that gym. You know, I mean, then you got gyms that got thousands of members. You know, I mean, I'm well over 1,000 members and stuff. You know, and so you're going to have all types. But the thing about it is this, you know, when you get an incident like that and stuff, you have to jump on that. You know,
yeah,
I mean, for Planet Fitness, they're bringing it more upon themselves due to their inactions, not so much the actions of the people that are in the bathrooms,
yeah, yeah,
doing this stuff.
yeah,
It's how Planet Fitness is responding to this.
yeah.
That's what the trouble is.
And so they respond to it by escorting the guy to the women's restroom and telling the other woman, if you don't like it, go in the stall. That's how they're dealing with it. What? I mean, so anyway, yeah, this was I believe that the Alaska incident was actually 2 weeks ago. That other one was just that was March 22nd of the heavier set guy that was in the women's restroom. But the list goes on. There is so much of this stuff happening. I mean, I could have made a 2-hour video on this because there's just that much footage of stuff that Planet Fitness does. Now I've never been in a Planet Fitness, and at one point I even thought about getting a subscription to it just because they have free tanning and they have a
Right,
hydro
right.
bed and a massage table, and that's all
Yeah,
I do.
they're all about amenities.
Yeah,
They're
and
all about
that's cool.
amenities.
I'm not going to now. That's not going to be a thought in my head anymore. But you can't run a business that way. You can't do that. People don't feel safe that way. You know, I mean, they don't feel safe that way. And how are you going to give people pizza that are overweight? They're trying to lose weight that joined a gym to lose weight, and you're giving them pizza. How does that make any sense at all? You
Well,
know what I mean?
like I said, the business model that they're doing, and the reason they continue to do it is, in some way, it's working for
They're making money, but they ain't now.
them. You know,
They're not
and
now.
like, right. You know, I mean, yeah, this was, this was. I read a little bit about the background of Planet Fitness, and these guys, they were running conventional gyms and they weren't making any money, and so they decided to use this model, and things really started to take off for them. I mean, me personally speaking, if you say that, you can make a lot more money if you did X, Y, and Z, or you do what they're doing, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. No, I know.
I wouldn't do it.
I know you wouldn't. Because that's you take pride in what you do. You're
Yeah.
proud of what you do. You can't be proud of that. How can you be proud of that? You can't. I mean, when I go, even my work, when I go home that day, I take pride in all my work I do, all of it. If I mess up, it makes me upset. It takes me a while to get over it because I take so much pride in my work. And it's what I do. It's what I'm a professional at. And my bodybuilding, same thing. I take pride.
And by the way, Linda she's just raving about the job you and you did for her landscaping and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she is. She's raving all about it, man. And she just went on and on and on talking about how beautiful it was, showing me pics, the whole 9 yards and stuff. So,
Linda's awesome. I got to do more stuff over there. They're getting everything built. So yeah, Linda's awesome. She's recovering quick too. That's cool.
yes, she is. She is.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate, you know. I mean, you know that you know, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't have. I just don't have the cojones to be doing stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you know, but as you know, I got a Planet Fitness. About a mile
Yeah.
from where I'm
Yes.
at. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's not very far.
I know, and I know we have members that are, you know, they're former Planet Fitness people, you know, and you know they talk about the contrast between, you know, us and Planet Fitness, you know.
You maybe one thing, if you have a chance and you get somebody from Planet Fitness, ask them why they're changing gyms. That'd be interesting to hear what some of the input.
Just the atmosphere in general, because I mean, you know, at Whetstone, it's business. You know,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's some camaraderie, the whole 9 yards, but it's business, and there's a reason why I do all of the orientations, because you know, I'm winning one way, either regardless of whether they buy personal training or whether they choose not to buy personal training, and they get I give them an orientation, and that orientation, that program that I put them on, is so productive for them that, you know, they're still using it, you know, 1, 2, 3 years later.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
you're right. Yeah.
So for that 30 minutes to that hour that I ate, you know, which would have been about $60 to $80, you know, I made up, you know, 1,000-fold, you know, by them continue to come and train, because
Yeah.
they pay it by the month.
Yeah. Because you're working for your money. You're working. You're
You know,
You're working for your money. I don't know. They don't work for their money. They're just letting it run. And now I've heard mixed stories about the whole, you know, you're not allowed to wear tank tops there. You can't wear razorbacks and all. So if you expose some muscle, you're gone. Which to me, I mean, I thought it was a judgment-free zone. I mean, it's I mean, to call it a lunk alarm.
This
So
seem kind of counter, you know, it's yeah, you know.
so we're lunks. We're lunks. That's what we are to them. So that's what you call judgmental. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna be curious to see what happens in the near future with them. They're only gonna get away with it so long, and obviously they're losing a lot of money right now because a lot of people are quitting. $400 million. That's a lot, and that was in like a week span. Selling their stock. So
if that was money that they're losing, then that was at one point in time, that was money that they were making.
Yeah.
Using that same business plan, you know, and some people, you know, it's about the money. It's about, like I said, if their sole purpose is to make money, and that's their sole purpose, to make money, you know, the bottom, it's not a good business.
Yeah, it ain't. You got that's
a profitable business, you know, but you know, you know, so organized crime is profitable too, but you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, right. All right. All right, you guys, that's all we got for now. Show us your tell us what you think about it.
Please.
What do you think? I mean, should we have another locker room altogether? I mean, just like they do bathrooms. I mean, I'm okay with that. It doesn't matter, but space, I mean, how would you fit another locker room in your gym?
I couldn't.
You couldn't. So
couldn't fit another locker room in the gym.
What do you do then? And how many if there's any trans out there that want to tell us your input on it. We'd love to hear that because obviously, I am not against trans people going into the restrooms at all. But when you're looking like a dude, for all I know, you're
Right.
lying to me.
Come
For all I
on.
know, you're lying and you want to look at boobs in there.
You're not trans.
Yeah, you're not trans.
You're not
So,
trans. You were stupid. You know, there's no trans female that wants to look like a dude.
no.
know?
Drag queens, but drag queens are drag queens. They're not trans. So maybe he's a drag queen. I don't know.
But the thing, but drag queens go to men's restrooms.
Men's restroom, yeah, because they live as a man and then they dress up as a woman. That's anyway. So it's this is definitely news. So
it's funny, but it's serious at the same time.
It's very serious. It is.
But
it's just, how are we at this point? How are we at this point in life? Like in this country, how are we right here? This is what this is idiocracy is what it is. But anyway, tell us what you guys think. We'll see you next week, and like and subscribe, and you have a good night.